Yes. So we are awesome. So we are so excited, world, everyone. We are going to introduce Starchild.
Ooh, yes. Hey, what's up,
Yes,
I
everyone?
like it. The peace, love, and happiness.
I
Peace, love.
know.
Yes,
Peace,
you
love, and
already know.
happiness.
Yes, sending all the good vibrations across the broadcast. You already know
Oh,
how
we
it
can we,
works.
we can we can feel it. We can
Yeah.
definitely feel it. So, Star Child, tell us about the journey. How did we get to this point here?
Yeah, thank you for asking that. It's definitely been a journey. So I began putting out music in 2019. So before that, I grew up in Los Angeles. I'm a LA born and raised boy, uh and so I grew up acting around here. So I always thought that was going to be make my way into the business a bit. And 2019, I kind of needed to step back a bit and get some, clarity and like peace and of mind and stuff because concert injection could kind of mess with your brain a bit. So I had to
Mhm.
remind myself, I am not that. You know what I mean? I am an artist through and through. And so I began just leaning in on like my poetry skills and just like I always wrote poetry as a kid and stuff. So like leaning more toward that and transferring into songwriting structure and learning about songwriting structure and like how to make a song. And so a song came to mind called "Come to the Sun," and I'm a big sun lover. I grew up in California. The sun and I have a really special relationship. So, yeah, that's where kind of Star Child was born of it because during that time I was like in 2019, I was like 23. So I was just kind of coming out of like, oh, I figured myself out. I'm a witch. I'm this, I'm that, whatever. And that year I was like, wait, what really am I? And I was like, I'm an artist. And like, Come to the Sun was born, and a producer found me on Instagram. So he heard my voice, and he was like, hey, I like your voice, man. Like,
Wow.
let's make some music together. And he cut me a nice deal. So he kind of like helped me get into music. And then from there, it's just kind of been learn as I go. And then, yeah, the pandemic happened. So I kind of refined my sound, during quarantine and stuff, really did more inner work and like shadow work. I was just getting out of like a huge depression and stuff like that. I was just figuring a lot like out about myself and realizing that I'm not my shadow. You know what I mean? I am me. I am here. I'm alive. I didn't choose to live amongst the mirrors. Just observing life and never living it. So I made myself very present that year, and in 2022, that's when I wrote all the music for the album I'm going to be putting out this summer. But that's where We Have the Power came about because it was just reflecting on the protests and reflecting on just the culture of the world that we're living. And everyone kind of likes to scapegoat the problems from president versus president or whatever, but like no, it's these corporations, it's big entities, it's funding. At the end of the day, where are we directing our funding? How do we fund a better way? And so that's what kind of one of the first lines that really like anchored the song, and it kind of went from there. And I discovered the beat online, and I don't know, it was really special. It was like it reminded me of like my grandpa, like this like 60s like Americana type of beat. And I've always liked music like that. I'm a big Doors fan. I'm a big, just the Queen and Fleetwood Mac, and Jimi Hendrix and Janis Joplin. So it's like those are huge influences to kind of like hear a beat that is modern, and it was able to capture all my feelings. It was really wonderful. So that's how I got to this place today. That was my journey. Sorry, I'm so long winded.
Oh, it's okay. No, it's
I
okay.
know that's great.
This is
Thank
like
you.
Wow.
talking to family when you're talking to us. We're like family, so you
Oh
don't
yeah.
have to
Oh
worry
yeah.
about.
Oh, thank you. I
We're not
feel
gonna
it.
have a regular conversation. We're just talking. So with
Mhm.
LA being such a big market,
Mhm.
and there's so many artists, actors, just basically they say that's the land of opportunity. How do
100%.
you remain focused and motivated to keep on pushing with so many? I know down in LA, so many different obstacles that can come
Yeah.
in your way. How do you stay focused and motivated?
Yeah, definitely the fact that like I'm born here makes a big difference. I grew up, seeing people come to the city and then leave, come to the city, then leave, come to the city and leave. And so, I know LA is a revolving door because I've also seen people leave and come back and then leave, leave and come back and then leave, so it's knowing that Hollywood per se, whatever I say, like I've never been a person that held back what I thought and stuff like that. And that's why I make the music that I do. So it's like my vibe kind of comes like, you can't kick me out of LA. Where are you gonna kick me out? Like 20 minutes down the street where I grew up. Like I know all the back roads, you know what I mean? I don't take no freeways around here, you know what I mean? Like I'm local through and through. So like I think being an LA local is what like keeps me centered and focused, because like I'm able to see through the facades and see through the glamour. You know, there's no glamour around here, you know, like Paramount Pictures, like it looks all beautiful, but then there's, you know, a couple of houseless people that are actually really nice if you talk to them and stuff like that. Like people, I don't know, have such misconceptions about LA, but like she's my home, and I connect her to her as an entity, you know, like kind of like Red Hot Chili Peppers, you know, when they sing in Under the Bridge, you know, like my city, she loves me, you know, like the city of angels. And I kind of have that spirit tapped in. And I'm very spiritual. I'm just very like, you know, very magical. So I think the magic of the sun and the magic of, you know, the earth kind of keep me moving on what's fate, you know, in my life, I guess. So yeah.
Wow, that is a wonderful story. I've listened to your song countless times.
Oh,
One of the
thank
first
you.
things, of course, I noticed was the old time sound
Yeah,
that
yeah.
I absolutely loved. So you said, that they came from your grandfather, but this song is so powerful, and it definitely speaks about it in the title. But what was your inspiration to write this song?
Yeah. Definitely it was just, I don't know, I guess I'm fed up, you know, with the way the media is portraying the problems in our world right now. You know, it's very left and right, right and blue or red or whatever, whatever. And I don't subscribe to any of that, because let's stop talking politics and let's start talking economics.
Here we go.
And and I also for 2.5 years, I was a canvasser, I was a fundraiser. That was my day job for a
Yeah,
hot minute during the pandemic and stuff. So I was like, you know, out on the street, like talking about these issues, you know, talking about the real stuff, like letting people know. Cause like I would interact with people who try to bring it left or bring it right. I'd be like, bring it back to the center of like, at the end of the day, there are these, you know, it's the banks, corporations, pharmaceuticals, like all these big entities that are mass funding things in the wrong way. So we're just making bad investments. And so there's already nonprofits that I'm fundraising for that are solving the problems that we're talking about, complaining about, but they don't have the mass funding. So that's the whole point of the song, is to remember that when I say like fund a better way, it's a choice. We live in America, right? With freedom of choice, right? So it's a choice why our land is like this. That whoever the business leaders are, whoever's funding the mass media and funding, you know, we as the people need to do that too. You know, there's good, wealthy people out there. They're just unaware, you know, of the problem sometimes. And so making us aware of that and making us understand that we have the power, you know, to do that, you know, to change things with our emotion, with our that's a big thing too about the song. Was I read a quote somewhere during that process of writing, and it was breaking down the words. It's about syllables and stuff like that, and emotion. You know, it's energy in motion, and
mhm,
so it's remembering that, you know, our emotions are very powerful. Because I've been told a lot from a lot of people who have a mindset of like, oh, what emotions are, they just cloud everything, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, no, if you're in control of your emotions, they bring clarity and they bring power. And so
mhm.
that's what kind of inspired the song for sure, is just the current culture that we're in, and just we're wanting to remind people that we do have the power to change it. Don't give up. You know, like how long have we been fighting? You know, this fight isn't over. It's
Right,
not going to be over until we get the capital to mass fund peace. You know what I mean? We
right,
can
right.
fund peace. We're funding destruction right now. It's a choice. So yeah, I think
Mm,
it's just about choices.
I love it. How,
that's
how
powerful.
why do you think it's important to spread the message and the word that you spread right now? What's the importance? So what really triggered it to make you say, you know what, everyone's going left, but I'm going to go right? So what made you make that right turn?
Yeah, I just think it's very easy to hear a beat, hear music, you know, with no lyrics, and easily hear how it could be a cute little love song. You know what I mean? And but taking that step to channel your emotions and the frustrations, and but really just, I think the moment that uh got me is just I think when just all the protests were happening. I think when, you know, that we were all locked in our homes technically, and
Mm,
you know, being able to break out in a sense and see that unity, and just the school shootings that keep happening. You know, we have more school shootings than, you know, days in this year. And it's just there's neglect in our government, and but the people are coming together, and so that inspires me and that gives me a lot of hope, and that's what keeps me writing, and um keeps that spirit of America alive for me. America for me is about just unity. We're the United States, but everyone else who's in power would want you to think opposite. So I just want us to remember that we are the people, and we the people have power.
That's strong. That's strong.
Wow, wow.
Thank you.
So with the album you have coming out that We Have the Power is will be on, are a lot of the songs very similar?
Kind of. It's definitely a mixed genre album. It's called Hollywood Sun. I'll reveal the
Mhm.
title. It's and
Yay.
it's a wonderful mix of genres. So the title track is a nod to my relationship with Los Angeles and being a local and being in the industry for as long as I have and stuff, and um being anonymous at the same time and kind of vibing with it. And it's very West Coast sounding. And then definitely there's a song on it that also goes in heavier, than We Have the Power is very cute and laid back type of surf rock song, and then I have a very heavy alternative song that really calls out, a lot. And then there's some cute songs. There's updated versions of my past two singles that I have out called "Come to the Sun" and "Si Se Puede." They're just beautiful updates that my last producer kind of put the sauce, put the little sprinkle on top, the cherry on tops of those songs, and so they're getting a little bit of a re-release on the album. But yeah, it's about magic. It's about finding your own power, and it's definitely a cute alt indie pop R&B ish album. So
Oh, okay. So we got some tunes on there that's gonna make us dance because we love to
yeah, we
we love
do,
to
we
dance.
do. Yeah, we do. Actually, the next single that I'm packaging up, it's a cute little we're out of the pandemic. Let's get outside type
Right,
of
right, right,
dance
right,
song. So
right.
yeah,
Mhm.
and very Hollywood still too as well.
Oh, I love it. I love it. I love it.
Yes.
So let me ask you a question. So if you had some advice to give to an artist who's been working hard, years and years involved, and maybe about to say, you know what, this isn't for me anymore. What type of advice do you have for the artist to keep on pushing?
Yeah. Believe all the cliches. I think
Mm,
th- I think that's really important. I think we overlook that cliches are truth, and that's been my mantra for the last year. Actually, it's funny that you bring this up because that's definitely what's getting me through, and what's gotten me through is understanding that like they say these things over and over for a reason. You know what I mean? Like there's so many artists. How many countless times that every artist gives you the same advice? Like just don't give up. You know what I mean? Just keep pursuing, and that's what it is. And it's understanding you have to fully trust the process, and you have to trust and let go of making art linear. I think that's my other piece of advice is stop trying to make the artistic path linear. It's not linear. It will never be
right,
linear. There's
right,
no
right.
linearity in the artistic path of the soul. And once you understand that and grasp that, it'll be you'll see everything start working out for you. It's slowly but surely. As long as you're putting the energy in, it's going to match, at a certain time. But yeah, don't rush it. Also, don't what time there's no such thing as time. There's no timelines. Why are you trying to rush the process? Like meet the right people, because the second you rush the process, you sign a bad deal and your name is no longer your name, and you're spending 8 years of your life, making music you didn't want to make. So it's really important to trust the process.
See, that kind of went into our next question that we're going to ask. So,
Okay.
okay, so if an opportunity was presented today, right? You had someone gave you a $500,000 deal on the table, or you can remain independent. You going to the left for the 500,000, or you going to the right, stay independent and believe in yourself.
Ooh.
I'm asking them for that 500 grand for distribution and marketing for all the music that I already have made, and that's all I need them for. Yeah, I don't need you to help me make the music. I know producers, I know people, I know my style, I know my energy. I just don't have the money to mass market it. So if you wanted to be my marketer, spend my marketing, you can cut me a distribution deal right now.
So we're talking about pretty much a partnership, but you're going to want to own
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I come from the acting background, so I'm used to, I mean, like a manager and agent working for you for 10 to 15%. Like
Right.
that's standard. Like, that's business,
Mhm.
and so I'll definitely bring that to the music industry, because that's what, like, I don't, like, I know how to make my music, I know how to write, so I need you. If you want to put me in writing rooms, amazing, depending on what the deal is, like, I really just need those marketers and distributors that the labels have and stuff like that. So if you want to provide me that service, let's do that. You can have, obviously, percentage of, the earnings, because you played a big part in that. You put me on Kiss FM. I mean, you got me on late night, whatever. Like, you have the contacts. So for your contacts, yeah, you could take 30% of my royalties or whatever earnings we make, or however you do that, for sure. But yeah, no, I wouldn't want to sign for like a full, like, oh, the label is giving me an advance to make a record. It's like, no, the record's already made. Like, give me the money to promote the record. Promo is where it's at, baby. Promo is a lot of money, honey. So
Oh
yeah,
yeah.
that's where I'm at with that.
Now, so with everything that you've been doing and everything you're continuing to do, are you going to um keep pushing your TV movie career?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, like, acting is always going to be there. You know what I mean? Acting is just auditions. That's the actor's life, truthfully. It's not actually booking the project. It's preparing the audition and understanding character work and character study, and sorry, my neighbors are shouting. um, yeah, but no, I definitely, acting is, I've been doing it since I was 9 years old, so it's definitely a part of me. It's a big, huge part of me. It's half of my life. So it's definitely something I want to take on. But yeah, I love it, and it's, acting is everything. It's commercials, it's TV, it's movies, it's theater, and so whatever, if an opportunity passes, of course. But like, as right now, consistently trying to be in the audition game, not so much. I submit here and there if I see a project on LA Casting or Actors Access. Those are the two advice, anyone who's listening, if you're coming to LA to become an actor, those are the two main sites you need: Actors Access, LA Casting. Without those, you're not auditioning. So
Well, that's good.
yeah, I love to share that to everybody, because people come here, they're like, I don't know how to start anything, and I'm just like, I'll help you out, little child. um,
Awesome. That's awesome.
but yeah.
So I have a question. So I'm listening, and you're very business savvy about the industry, about the music industry, about the movie industry, and just about business as a whole. Did you have a
Uh-huh.
mentor, or are these things that you learned on your own? The
Um, Definitely on my own for the most part. I've had managers since I was like 16, on and off. And that's something about this city that people don't recognize. Like, everyone who comes here is like, oh, I need to get a manager, I need to get an agent, and I'm gonna take off. And it's like, no. You could get a manager in like a month, and then not get a single audition from them for a whole year. You know what I mean? So it's like, I've learned, part experience, like being 9 years old, telling my parents, like, oh, I got bit by the acting bug, and I figured out that Disney Channel and Nickelodeon are a freeway away from me. So why aren't we auditioning? You know what I mean? Like, and so it was just the internet. I grew up in the internet age, so just, being that little kid that was, instead of looking up video games and stuff like that, I was looking at, how do you break into the acting industry? You know what I mean? Like, and you learn that it's show business. You know what I mean? And a movie that put it into perspective with me was, I was going through a huge Marilyn Monroe phase. I love Marilyn, rest in peace. And one of her films was "There's No Business Like Show Business," and it's a funny, kooky little film, but like the song in it really, like, I don't know, it hit my little theater heart for sure, because it's true. There is no business like show business. You're addicted to it, and it's like, you can live with it, or and you can't live without it. Like, if it's for you, it's for you, and you have to do it. It just sucks that the business is, set up the way it is, and it's traditional corruption. That's what I kind of like to call things that are outdated or whatever. And so we're just moving through that right now in the industry. But I'm in it for life. And going back to one more question, what we asked earlier about the advice, like, that's definitely another thing that I like to tell myself is, dang it, sorry, that honk threw me off. I lost my train of thought. I'm so sorry, guys.
You're okay. You're
I
okay.
was on something, and then she fell off, so it's all right. We need a good
I
laugh.
just have to say, I love your energy.
Yes, yes.
Oh, thank you.
Like, it's very contagious. Somebody could be having a horrible day and have a 2-minute conversation with you, and their whole day just changes.
Yes.
Thank you. Thank
Like,
thank
that
you for
is,
saying that.
it's, yeah, that energy. I can feel it's addicting. Like,
Yeah. Thank you. That's funny that you say that, because I've gotten that, a lot in my life, but the first time I've ever heard that was how I started into the art world. I did my first play. It was a church play, and I was always a cynical kid. I was always like just too mature for my head. So I was like, when people would come up to me and tell me, like, compliment me, I'm like, yeah, you have to say that, you're our parents or whatever. But this one lady really changed my life, and she came up to me. I wish I knew her name, but she had a daughter in the play, and she didn't say I was cute or anything. She just said thank you, and I was like, 9 years old. I was like, huh? Why is this adult thanking me? Like, what? And she was like, thank you. Like, I was in a very bad mood when I came in, like I didn't want to even be here, but my daughter's in the place. I have to support her. But you came up on that stage and I forgot why I was mad. And I just lit up. And she's like, you have a light in you and you have a talent in you and you need to do something with it. Please do something with it. Like, I'm encouraging you to do something with it. So that's what started everything for me. So thank you for saying that.
Oh wow. Wow. That's deep right there. The name definitely fits you. Definitely.
You have some
Thank
people
you.
were chosen, they were chosen before you even born. So
For
you're
sure. It's always felt like that. Definitely.
who was you're definitely a chosen one. And it's hard for someone to have the name with star in front of it and for the world to accept it.
Right.
But I let you know right
Totally.
there and then that you're special because you're calling yourself a star. So you're pitting it into the universe
Yeah.
before you even really get well known. So you're
For
doing the right
sure.
thing. You're pitting the positive energy into the
Thank
universe. And
you.
that's what they don't understand. Now, with such a
Yeah.
variety of different, how to say, levels of the music. So who's your actual fan base? Who's your target audience?
Yeah. I mean, for sure, it's anyone who is a Lana Del Rey fan like me. Everyone who knows me personally knows that is like my artist that I'm obsessed with. Like,
Okay,
and
okay.
like she gives me a lot of inspiration. So definitely fans like her and people who like poetry and like
Mm-hmm.
just like the hippies, the free spirits, the people who, all my queers, my LGBTQ peeps, my plus, like anyone who is in a community that it doesn't follow the norm. So alternative, anyone who loves alternative, that's really the crowd, like that's why I put alternative in front of everything. Because like, yeah, I sing pop. I'm a pop star in my soul. I grew up on like every big pop queen in the early 2000s. You know what I mean? So I'm a product of that.
Right.
Plus the Disney Channel pop queen. So you know what I mean? Like, so I'm really, anyone who just loves just good vibes, good energy, peace and love, and yeah, I don't necessarily have a specific market, but I think my music is there's a little bit of everything for everyone.
Okay. Now, so in the next 5 years, I mean, because you're taking off. So in the next 5 years,
Yeah.
where do you see yourself?
Um, I see myself funding a better world,
Mm.
um, and leading with uh clarity in um I guess I don't know. Yeah, in 5 years, I see myself successful, and I see myself helping people and making my art into reality. So I'm a big person on like whatever you create, you can make it physical. So just yeah, making big. My art right now is blueprinting. You know what I mean? Like that's what I consider it whenever I write and I talk about things that I want to change. I can't do it right now, but in 5 years from now, maybe I can. And I will crystallize all my ideas into the physical world. So. Yeah.
There you
I love
go.
it.
I love it.
I love it. So
Thank you.
we got a tough one, and we always like to ask this question before we let people go.
Okay.
If you had one thing to change about yourself, what would it be?
I think
It's
it
one
would
thing.
be um hmm, I think just I still have a little bit of anxiety. I'm a human, so I think just that, I would learn to I'm getting better at it, but there's moments where things still kind of creep in, so I'm good at like squashing it down. But yeah, hopefully that will change, in the future is that like I'm grounded. You know what I mean? Like everything is an illusion at the end of the day, positive or negative. So why am I going to focus on the negative illusions when I could just focus on the positive ones and then we can make real?
Yes.
Good
Yes.
job. Because that's always how would I say a question that we catch everybody off of guard. Like, oh my
Yeah.
God, I wasn't thinking about what am I going to change myself.
Right.
But we like to ask that question because we all have things that we need to work on, and sometimes we don't like to look at the person in the mirror
For
and
sure.
the things behind the reflection. So that's why
No,
we
I
try
totally
to
agree.
answer that question. So it's just a start to say, wow, I didn't think about this, but maybe I do need to work on this because this
Yeah.
might be the one thing that I'm missing that actually take me to the next level.
Totally. And I feel that, and that's the goal. I've been working on that, and I feel good about it. And this guy is cheering. I'm assuming football is on or something. So I'm gonna
Right?
take that as my confirmation. I'm working on it, and we're getting there, and we're gonna go great. We're gonna be big.
I know
Thank you
that's right.
guys.
I love it. I love it. All right. Let everyone know where they can find you at on all social media.
Yes.
Yes. Yeah. Starchild. Oh, sorry. The world's getting loud. Starchild 1997 is my
Mhm.
Instagram handle. So is my TikTok as well. And then starchildmedia.com is where you can keep up to date with me on there. You can sign up for my newsletter. You can go to my merch store and check out my merch. I have really cute merch I just released, and I'm really proud of that. And yeah, I have just all my videos and stuff like that, so pictures, and you can keep up to date with any shows. I don't have anything lined up at the moment, but there's going to be some announcements, in the next couple of weeks after I book get some bookings and stuff like that. So yeah, that's where you can find me.
That is great. That is great.
So
Thank
I
you.
hope that when you have a
Thank you.
big show or something like that, a
Yes.
radio show, you invite worldwide radio down there, we'll come to
Oh
support. We
yeah.
love LA.
Please,
Oh,
I will.
yes.
I'll send you guys an email. Come down, and
Yes.
yeah, no, come out. Like my show. I've been rehearsing my shows for the last few months, and
Nice.
ooh, they're gonna be good because
I like that
we
for the
got
last
we
few
got some
months.
equipment. We got some dancing, and like it's the way it's lined up. At half of it's my pop music, and then the later half is a rock show, and there's a comedy 5-minute comedian intermission. So it's a vibe for sure.
Okay,
That
that's what
is
I'm talking about.
great.
That's what
Yes.
I'm talking about. So, like I said, we're
Thank you.
excited. We are excited. Like I said, we thank you so much for taking some time out your
Yes,
busy
thank you
schedule.
for having me and
Oh,
like
absolutely.
being
Absolutely.
being yeah, here just to talk music, and I really had a lot of fun, and this is what I love doing. So thank you for just confirming everything for
Oh,
me, guys.
this is just the start. This is just the start. And
Yeah.
like I said, we're all going to continue to help each
Yes,
other build after this interview. So, like I said,
exactly.
today we just planted the seed. Now we're going to
Mhm.
water it and watch this thing grow.
Exactly. Thank
Exactly.
you guys for being there to plant the seed and water it. So I would really
Def-
appreciate that.
Definitely. And
Absolutely.
don't forget, Worldwide Radio was in the top 3.
I mean, that's I feel that because you guys play some great music. My dad listens to your radio station. I've listened to your radio station growing
Thank
up.
you.
So like
Great.
yeah.
Awesome.
Like I
Awesome.
love radio. That's another reason why too. Like someone asked me the other day. It's like, oh, like you're putting it on the radio. Like no, like I'm like, yeah, radio is still a thing, guys. Like I love
Right.
radio. Like you know what I mean. Like everyone thinks like streaming is the way. I'm just like, I mean, yeah, go download my song later in the month, but like go tune in. You know what I mean. I
Right.
love I
But see,
love
but this is
radio.
the good
So
thing with our radio station. Even though we are a radio station, your songs
you're
are still played on Roku TV, Fire TV,
yes.
Apple TV, Samsung TV. So
Mhm.
No,
it's a
exactly. It gets you heard by a variety of an audience. You know what I mean? So
absolutely.
it's like
Mhm.
that's why I love radio. And thanks for just allowing me to have my dreams come true. I always wanted a song on the radio, so thank you guys.
Oh, no problem.
You're
Well, thank you for allowing
welcome.
us to come into your world and be part of your
Yeah.
success and your growth. So we really
Thank you guys.
really appreciated talking to you today. And world,
Yes,
like I said, it's your boy B Mobile Worldwide Radio.
It's your girl, AJ.
yes,
And make sure
and
you
it's
tune in to
Star
Star
Child.
Channel and follow us on all social media platforms, Worldwide Radio and www.radio.net.
Yes.
Thank you guys. Love you
Thank
guys.
you.
You guys
Thank
have a
you.
good rest of your day. Sending all the love
You
and all the
too.
magic. Yes.
Yes.
Bye, guys.
Bye.